Alright, man, I'm gonna wait for a few people to come in. See if I can get one or two people to join the chat here. What's up? What's up? Hit that like button for me, man. Hit that like button for me. Drop me a comment. What's cracking? What's cracking? Who's in here? Good morning to everybody. Big news going on surrounding Pacquiao right now. Hope the stream's looking good, man. Drop me a comment if you can hear me. Drop me a comment if you feel like the stream is good enough. Let me know if I can improve a little bit. But as always, got some boxing news for y'all, man. Alright, so Manny Pacquiao wasn't informed of the Yordenis Ugas mandatory fight. Plus, Ryan Garcia Pacquiao is now off. Okay, it's a no-go. So, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be interesting. I'm going to break down a few articles I was reading this morning. Want to chop it up with the people, man. Anybody watching, good morning to you. Big boxing Pacquiao news going on right now. Alright, y'all. So, I'm going to get into these articles. This is all pertaining to Manny Pacquiao versus Yordenis Ugas and the Ryan Garcia potential fight with Manny Pacquiao. I'm going to start off with Manny Pacquiao versus Yordenis Ugas and what's going on with that situation. What's up, man? Whoever's in the chat right now, what's up with you? What's cracking? Alright, so the name of the article is revealed Manny Pacquiao versus Yordenis Ugas fight was never ordered. WBN.com if you want to check out the article. If not, I'm going to read a portion of it right now for you. Manny Pacquiao has never been ordered to face Yordenis Ugas despite the 8-weight legend losing his old welterweight belt. Which is crazy. I don't understand how you strip a guy who you never ordered to face his mandatory. And especially in the times that are going on right now, you would think that they would either have some leeway toward Pacquiao or they would have forced him to defend that title against Yordenis Ugas. Now, I've been saying this for a while, that Pacquiao just needs to go ahead and announce the fight with you guys and get it over with, man, before the WBA tries to step in and make something happen. All right, WBA has since classified the World Boxing Association as a sanctioning body. That's until they correct some controversial practices in their ranking and title system, which is very interesting. They're no longer looking at the WBA as a sanctioning body. So maybe Manny Pacquiao saw something else. Maybe there's something else going on behind the scenes that Manny Pacquiao found out about. Maybe he wanted to drop the belt. Don't know yet, man. It's just interesting that all of this happened so quickly, and Pacquiao's kind of being really nonchalant about it. Friday, I found out. I dropped the video. Then as soon as I dropped the video, I found out that Pacquiao was stripped of the title. Decided not to do a video, but I went live and talked about it. Saturday, then I found out Ryan Garcia got the Gatorade contract. I was like, okay, so if he got that Gatorade money, of course Manny Pacquiao's team will probably want a piece of that money. Okay, so I had a whole video idea I was gonna do and drop. Said I'll wait till Sunday to do it. Woke up this morning and to see that the Pacquiao Garcia fight is off now, and which I kind of figured, because of the whole exhibition talk. I think Team Garcia wanted an exhibition and Team Pacquiao wanted an actual sanctioned fight. And now I'm finding out Pacquiao wasn't even informed that he was supposed to fight. Even though, like I said, I knew. I had looked at the rankings of the WBA a while ago, and I'm like, okay, well, if Yordenis Ugas is Manny Pacquiao's mandatory, he's the WBA regular champ, which is weird all in itself because the WBA wasn't even recognizing you guys as the champion. So how do you strip a guy who legitimately won the belt, give it to a guy who you won't even recognize as the regular champion, and and strip the guy who actually who I mean, it's a mess, man. Right now, if you ask me, in the boxing world, it's just a mess. And Manny Pacquiao is he's on the wrong end of the stick right now, unfortunately for him. All right, so as the WBA did not inform Pacquiao that he was in danger of losing his strap if the fight didn't happen ahead, this adds further weight to the move. Shane Gibson, head of Manny Pacquiao Promotions, confirmed the news over the weekend. Which is like, damn, man, how do you strip a guy and don't even tell him that he's in danger of being stripped? But you would think Pacquiao's team would have already been looking into all of this. You would have thought Pacquiao's team would have, after 2 years, they would at least have said like, hey, maybe we should be thinking about, or at least talking to the WBA about whether we should be scheduling our next fight, or whether we should just chill out until they give us some type of direction of where they needed to go. Okay, so Pacquiao was made champion in recess by the WBA, which only means he's lost the title. Hold on. By the WBA, which only means he's lost the title. Ugas is now the WBA Super Champion. No doubting that the WBA will soon move to sanction a regular fight for the secondary 147-pound title shortly. Outlining their reasoning for stripping Pacquiao, the WBA said, according to its rule C-14, the WBA dictates that champions and their teams are required to know the WBA's rules to understand the regulations. I guess if that's in there in their rules, you can't really go against what they're saying. You can't really fight their ruling. I guess this is why Pacquiao's not really upset about the whole thing. But I still feel like they should have at least contacted Pacquiao before they made their ruling to find out what his next move is. I guess they just saw what was going on in the news and they felt like, well, Pacquiao's not even negotiating a real fight, so why even waste time? Let's just strip him of the title and pass it on to the next guy. Rule C 2224 states that when a champion is unable to defend the belt for medical, legal, or other reasons beyond his control, he may be named champion in recess. Documented medical reasons are to be presented before the WBA Medical Committee, simultaneously presented legal grounds to the legal director and the Champions Committee. Any inconvenience that may arise in the process will be resolved under the guidelines of the WBA regulations. According to Gibson, Pacquiao was never in a position to accept or decline an Ugas order. Had the WBA made this clear, the Pac-Man could have made an informed decision whether he should face Ugas before Ryan Garcia or Conor McGregor and keep his title. The 8-weight division champion is yet to give his reason to the news. He seems largely unfazed by the outcome, which is interesting, man. I feel like he doesn't even really, either he already knew some of this stuff and he's just he is going along with whatever plan he has, or he has another plan in mind, which would be for him just to go ahead and since he's the champion in recess and fight Yordenis Ugas, because he's Yordenis Ugas is mandatory. Now they're gonna promote Jamal James up to one, which would make him go from the number 2 spot to the number 1 contender, the regular champion. But I guess since Pacquiao's the champion in recess, him and Jamal James are kind of tied at this point for that number 1 contender spot. So I guess it would be on you guys to pick who he would rather fight, Jamal James or Manny Pacquiao next. So I mean, Pacquiao can still get his belt back, but it's going to be up, I'm pretty sure, to you guys to decide which of those fights he wants to take. Fights with Garcia and McGregor are more lucrative to Pacquiao in 2021. Garcia is making the most noise right now after Dustin Poirier humbled McGregor in his last UFC contest. Taken to social media this weekend, Garcia ruled out any notion of an exhibition with Pacquiao. Hey everybody, I want to make it real clear. My fight with Pacquiao would not be an exhibition, Garcia stated. It will be a real fight. I'm shooting for 12 rounds, all on the line. Our records will be on the line. I want to make that very clear for everybody. So that's kind of funny in a way, you know. As soon as he put that out, now it's being announced that he's not even going to fight Pacquiao, you know. So obviously, there was some type of disconnect between the Pacquiao negotiations, the Garcia negotiation team, and Ryan Garcia. Obviously, he wants one thing, his team wants another. His father saying, "Hey, it's only an exhibition, a real fight." I'm sorry. The rest of his team saying it's only an exhibition. So you know, it is what it is, man. At this point, uh, let's move on. Okay, that's the end of that. So at this point, the Ryan Garcia fight isn't happening. You know, he's been stripped of the title. He can sit around, wait and see what you guys is going to do. You guys just put out a tweet saying Pacquiao didn't want to fight him. Pacquiao was ducking him basically, and it's kind of making it seem like he's going to do the same thing to Pacquiao in return. So I'm not sure where this is going to go, who's going to get the next fight, why they would get the next fight. I'm hoping that you guys decide to fight Pacquiao next. I'm hoping that that's going to come in April or May, like he said, for Cinco de Mayo. I don't see why you guys would turn that fight down at all. I don't see why you guys would say, you know, I don't want a Pacquiao fight, which would be the biggest fight of his career, unless he's already talked to Spence or Crawford and they've offered him uh, a certain amount of money just to drop the strap, basically. Because I feel like if he fights Crawford or Spence, he's good. He's not gonna give a very good showing. He's just gonna do it for the money. If he fights Pacquiao, he might actually try to fight Pacquiao because everybody thinks Pacquiao is old. Uh, I was gonna read the other article, man, but I think they kind of covered a little bit of. I guess I can go into it a little bit. Manny Pacquiao, this comes from ESPN.com. Manny Pacquiao Ryan Garcia fight not happening. Golden Boy Promotions uh, exec says Ryan Garcia's dream of stepping into the ring to take on Manny Pacquiao will have to remain just that for now, according to his promoter, Golden Boy Promotion, which promotes the 22-year-old Garcia, 21-0, 18 KOs, told ESPN Knockout that a fight between the two isn't in the cards. There's nothing to talk about. Their Golden Boys executive Eric Gomez told ESPN they contacted us, but it turns out there's nothing to talk about. That fight isn't going to happen. However, Guadalupe Valencia, who represents Garcia, told the Athletic that the door is still open for the fight to take place. We're discussing terms, Valencia said. Manny and Ryan wanted and instructed their teams to make it happen. That's what we're trying to accomplish. This fight is not going to happen, man. I don't see a point in it happening. Unless Pacquiao just wants a piece of that Gatorade money that Ryan Garcia is about to get. I don't see this fight actually happen. I don't think Manny Pacquiao really needs the Ryan Garcia fight. I don't think Pacquiao needs an exhibition fight. I think Pacquiao needs to focus solely on negotiating with Yordenis Ugas to get that title back and trying to move forward from there on a potential Earl Spence or Terrence Crawford fight. Because here's my thing. This is what I feel like happened. I feel like Bob Earl and Al Heyman might have stepped in and got the WBA to strip Pacquiao because he's not negotiating at their price terms, which is a shady tactic, but it could work in their favor because if Pacquiao says, "Hey, I just want to bow out of the sport at this point. There's no reason for me to go fight Yordenis Ugas or even attempt to fight him. Hey, Spence and Crawford, they can have it." It would have worked in Bob Earl and Al Heyman's favor. They both stand to make a lot of money off of a potential Earl Spence versus Terrence Crawford fight, and a lot of people thought that Pacquiao was standing in the way of that. So what was keeping them both from lobbying to the WBA to have Pacquiao stripped of the title? Uh, Even though Pacquiao is still somewhat affiliated with PBC boxing, I don't think he was going to fight Spence at a 60-40 split. And I'm pretty sure that's what Spence probably wanted. The same, he's probably offering Pacquiao the same thing he was offering Crawford. Even though Pacquiao's, here's what's messed up. Pacquiao, because of his fame and his ability to sell pay-per-views, is still the A side in the Earl Spence fight. He's still the A side in the Terrence Crawford fight. But I feel like Earl Spence is not going to come down on his price because of the risk of the fight. There's a high risk of Earl Spence losing that fight. And then what happens to his career if he loses to Pacquiao, plus Pacquiao has all those belts, and now can go negotiate the biggest fight with Terrence Crawford, and Earl Spence out of the way. But if Bob Earl and Al Heyman get together, lobby to the WBA, get them to strip Pacquiao, now the ball is in both of those guys' courts. One of them has Earl Spence, the other one has Terrence Crawford. Now they can come together and make $1 billion fight. It's shady in a way, but I feel like that's kind of what happened behind the scenes because of Pacquiao's price tag and the fact that Bob Earl doesn't want to work with Pacquiao because of his price tag. There are rumblings that PBC doesn't want to work with Pacquiao because of the price tags of the fight. Uh, where this is going to go from there, PBC still holds Yordenis Ugas. They have Yordenis Ugas, so they can still make that in-house fight between Pacquiao and Ugas. Now, would they get Pacquiao at a cheaper price because he's no longer the champion? Very interesting. It seems like there's a lot of tactics being played behind the scenes, and they're all using Pacquiao because of his name. We all know Pacquiao's on his way out of the sport, and everybody wants to use Pacquiao's name to make them some money at this point. So I wouldn't put it past anybody to basically do shady things behind the scenes to try to manipulate Pacquiao, and so it comes back in the form of dollars later on in the future. Look, here's my thing. I feel like Pacquiao should only at this point be negotiating with Yordenis Ugas. He is now the champion. Manny Pacquiao is the champion in recess. He can lobby to the WBA for a mandatory shot at Yordenis Ugas. Now there is still, if you're just joining me, there's still Jamal James who's being promoted from regular champion from number one contender. He was the number two contender. No, he was number one contender. Mikey Garcia was number two. Yordenis Ugas was the regular champion. They never recognized you guys as the regular champion, which is weird all in itself that they're giving him the belt now, but I already covered that. If you want to rewatch it, you can go back to the beginning and rewatch it. So, you guys is being promoted to the super champion. Jamal James is now the regular champion. Manny Pacquiao is the champion in recess, but the champion in recess can lobby to the WBA for a mandatory shot. So he still has mandatory capabilities. He can pull his mandatory card and say, "Hey, I want to fight with Yordenis Ugas for the title." And they either have to recognize that, or you guys has to say, "I'm gonna fight Jamal James before I fight Pacquiao," which would be an interesting fight all in itself. Never seen Jamal James fight, but I heard he's pretty good. Would like to see that fight happen if it could, but I would love to see Manny Pacquiao take on Yordenis Ugas, man. If you're in the chat, man, drop me a comment, man. If you got the ability to leave me a comment, let me know what y'all think about the topic. Do you think Manny Pacquiao is going to fight Yordenis Ugas next? You think that's why all of this Ryan and the whole Ryan Garcia talk? I thought it was kind of fishy from the beginning. I didn't think. Appreciate that like, whoever threw me a like, man. Appreciate that. The thumb down too. Hey, man, I try to make it better content for me. Let me know what I'm doing wrong in the chat, man, and I try to fix it for you. But the Ryan Garcia fight, I felt like it was a farce in the beginning. I didn't feel like it was gonna happen. There's no need for Pacquiao. The Conor McGregor fight made more sense because of the dollar signs that were going to be there. Ryan Garcia is super duper famous on Instagram, but Instagram followers don't buy pay. Not I'm not saying all of them, but Instagram followers are not going to buy your pay per view. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think the Instagram crowd is going to translate over into the pay per view crowd for boxing. I just don't see it happening, and which is the reason why I think Pacquiao's kind of taking this fight off the table now. He's like, hey, wait a minute. I've been stripped of the title. I keep on talking about these. Y'all keep on throwing out there these exhibition talks. Why ain't y'all talking about a real fight? And my team that got me stripped of the title because they don't want to talk. They don't want to talk real fights. And they keep talking exhibition talk. And now Pacquiao's having to step in, and he's gonna have to step in and say, "Hey, well, I'm the champion in recess for the WBA." Even though the WBA is seeming real shady right now, and WBN News, go back to the beginning, they're no longer recognizing the WBA. They don't want to be affiliated with the WBA anymore because a lot and I heard the IBF, the the WBC, and the WBO are all upset with the WBA for what they've done to Pacquiao because they should have at least contacted him before they stripped him of the title. The only way to fix this is there has to be a Pacquiao Ugas fight. I don't think they should allow you guys to fight anyone other than Jamal James or Manny Pacquiao. He should have to pick between those two fights, and Pacquiao should be the front runner. Simply because he was stripped and he didn't lose the title. He was stripped of the title, but if he wants to still be active, I think he should have his opportunity to go be active, man. Why can't you allow this guy to get a shot at the title that you just took from him? It's kind of unfair, but we'll have to see how this all plays out. I think that's the fight you're gonna have to look for in April, May. I think the fight that's gonna happen for Manny Pacquiao next is gonna be the Ugas fight. I've been talking about this Ugas fight for a while. If you actually follow me, I want to see the Ugas fight. I think the Ugas fight is the perfect fight for Pacquiao as a tune-up for Crawford or Spence. I think that's what they should have been playing around this whole time. There should have never been talks of the Conor McGregor. That should have been second or third. There should have never been talks of Ryan Garcia. The Ryan Garcia stuff, I feel like that was all internet talk. I feel like the internet created that. That shows how big his fan base is because his fan base they created a fan-made poster, sent it to him. He took that as the fight was on, and then the whole YouTube sports boxing world ran with that. And I'm looking at this like, well, hold up, man. Hold on, man. Hold on. I don't think this is actually going to play out in the way people are thinking because the money's just not there. Why would he be making a super fight with Ryan Garcia and when he's not even making a super fight with Spencer Crawford? It don't make sense. The dollar signs are going to be way bigger with Spencer Crawford than it would be with Garcia. Yes, the risk is not there as much as it would be with Spencer Crawford, but the dollar signs are way bigger. So I never understood why he would be even negotiating with Ryan Garcia in the first place. So I feel like the fight y'all gotta look forward to, man, the fight that we're going to see from Manny Pacquiao next. Hopefully, unless he, like I said, Yordenis Ugas decides to go with Jamal James, who's been elevated to regular champion. It's now Jamal James, Manny Pacquiao, which actually I think and it depends on how you look at the situation because Pacquiao's a champion in recess. It would be Jamal James, Pacquiao, you guys. You guys are the super champion. Pacquiao's the champion in recess, and Jamal James is the regular champion now. Pacquiao has that champion in recess card for a mandatory fight he can pull if he decides to. Whether he decides to or not, he hasn't announced anything. But according to ESPN, the Ryan Garcia fight is off. According to WBN, Manny Pacquiao was never informed at all by any means by the WBA his title was in jeopardy of being lost. Now, if y'all, like I said, y'all can go back and watch my videos, man. I talked about this months ago that this could possibly happen, and if he's not careful with announcing these exhibitions, that the WBA could step in, or possibly, like I said, Bob Arum and Al Heyman might have stepped in, and they might be colluding something behind the scenes in the form of a huge fight between Crawford and Spence coming up. Because I feel like this. Pacquiao, you guys, is a good fight. Spence, you guys, is a good fight. Spence Crawford is a good fight. But I feel like Pacquiao could knock you guys out. I feel like Spence beats you guys. I feel like Crawford probably would beat you guys. So you got three guys who could easily just take that belt right back. Which is why I feel like Bob Arum and them might have got involved because it's not going to be a. I think it would be a tough fight, but I still have Spence beating you guys. I still got Crawford beating you guys. I still got Pacquiao beating you guys, which is why now you guys. Last week it was Manny Pacquiao had all the chips in his court. He had all the balls, all the chips were in his court. He could negotiate with anybody. Now it's you guys has Pacquiao, Spence, and Crawford who are all going to be negotiating with him to get that belt because that belt is really important right now for that unification. And it would behoove Pacquiao. Now I feel like Pacquiao has negotiating power over both of those guys simply because of his name, and I feel like he would get the fight quicker than those other two guys would. Because I think you guys would feel like, just like those other two guys do, that he can knock him out because he's old. But I think it behooves Pacquiao to negotiate as hard as he can to get that you guys fight, man. Hopefully that's what happens. I don't want to ramble on too much longer, man. Appreciate y'all for hitting that like button for me. Nobody commented, man. I was hoping to conversate with some people, man. That's why I want to come on live. Because I feel like when I drop videos, I don't always get to respond to the comments. So I want to come on live and actually interact with the people who enjoy my videos, man. Make it more of a community, bro. If you want to be involved, man, I always tell people, man, whoever's out there watching, if you want to be involved in the community, if you want to be in one of the videos, man, you got a comment you want me to put in a video, or if you can show me how to do the Zoom stuff so I can start adding people to my lives. That would be pretty cool too, man. So be looking out for that. I'm gonna try to upgrade the whole live situation a little bit. I ain't get another camera. I don't like the way this camera works when I go live because I can't focus it for some reason. But I enjoyed this, man. I always enjoy coming on live and discussing boxing, man. Manny Pacquiao's next move. Cause my last live, I felt like, oh man, he's been stripped. The McGregor fight ain't happening. The Ryan Garcia fight, I know it ain't happening. I already know this ain't happening, man. But it's fun to talk about it. And I'm thinking, man, Manny Pacquiao's about to retire, man. It's over. For me being a fan of Manny Pacquiao. But now I feel like, okay, a little bit of news is coming out from Team Pacquiao, and they're dropping the Ryan Garcia talk. So obviously he's taking this seriously. What he said about fighting 2 times in 2021, man. Let me get ready to get out of here, man. I'm going to get back on live a little bit later to discuss some more topics around Pacquiao, you guys. Y'all mainly going to be seeing Pacquiao, you guys, footage from me from now on until this fight gets announced. I feel like it's going to happen. Perhaps, perhaps. Here's the thing. Okay, let me touch on one more point. Now that that belt's out there, and I wish somebody would comment, but what if it played out like this? Okay, let's say uh, Earl Spence signs a deal to fight you guys, or Crawford signs a deal to fight you guys. One of those guys gets the belt. They finally fight each other. Do you think Pacquiao should just wait a year? Because it would probably take about a year for all that to play out. And then fight the winner of that. Take a year off, run for the presidency, win the presidency because you're going to win. And then, try to fight Earl Spence Jr. or Terrence Bud Crawford, whoever wins the unification fight. You think it would be better for him to wait it out? Or you think it would be better for him to go on and try to pursue his last two fights in 2021 and try to get that belt back and then unify with one of the other champions, man? That's the final question for the live here. Appreciate y'all tuning in, man. I think I'm gonna put this one back up. I'm gonna let y'all go back and watch this one, man. And the DVR is up and all that stuff, so y'all can go back and watch it. Appreciate you tuning in. Hit that like button, man. Find me before we get out of here. Like I said, I'll be back on a little later. I might send a community post, let y'all know when I'm coming on, or I'll schedule it to give a little heads up for everybody when I'm coming on. If I can figure out the Zoom stuff before I come back on, I might give out a number so y'all can call in and we can talk live. That would be pretty cool, man. I think it would be pretty decent. If anybody out there in the community knows how to do the Zoom stuff, hit me up in the comment section, man. When I put this video out, I go to one of my other videos and drop me a comment and let me know how I can do these Zoom calls, or maybe we can do, what's the other one? Somebody was telling me about, Caps was telling me about WhatsApp. So I'm gonna try to figure out something here, man. But I gotta get out of here, go take care of some stuff. And I will see you guys later, man. It's your boy Cardinal Red Room Sports. And we are out of here.